welcome to another exciting episode of the Sport Chat. Today I could say it's a special one because we're in the presence of the legend. And one thing about being in the presence of the legend is that we not only indulge in great conversations, but we get to learn more about the game. And today we're in the presence of the one and only phenomenal Portia Modise. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. Yes.
I think I'm honored to you guys invited.
Yeah, we are truly also honored, and thank you very much for making time. And I believe will be a very great conversation because we've been looking forward to this one. We've been looking forward to this one.
And I'm also glad, man, that it happened. And they say that everything happens at the right time. Everything happens
for a reason. Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you are here as Portia. And there's a lot that we want to talk about now. We know that you are the most decorated soccer player in South Africa, and you've scored 102 goals, and you are the only player in Africa, not only in South Africa only, to score over 100 goals in not only 100 goals, but obviously doing it in 124 caps. Yeah. And I just want to say RIP first, man, to the former commentator. I think it is Mateza who passed on.
Yeah.
And when I first heard him doing comment, I was like, I thought he was white. Only to find out this guy actually played. That's how brilliant he was.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted us to start by saying, condolences to the family, condolences to the friends and everyone.
To the fans,
who knew him. And this girl is very high school there. So what was that trip about?
I think that trip, Joe, it was about going to motivate, the great 12. We're coming from a very rough whereby 2 years down the road where we struck by COVID. Abantwana by school and they didn't go to school normally the way they normally go to school. So some of them they needed to start studying from home. As we're coming from this background, sometimes we don't get the support that we need.
Absolutely.
Most kids now they needed to use the internet to make sure they didn't losing it up with a scale. But for me to be there, I think it was honoring the collab, and making sure me going, my presence probably to make a difference. It could change other kids' minds, the way now they thinking the situation about who they will never come out, or they are the only one, about the bad, about the situation about when people like us coming to share the stories, Mamela, don't think you alone. I grew up in this situation.
It brings hope.
But my situation, it didn't bring anger. It didn't change the person that I am. Instead, it brought a greater person, because I look at my background and I was like, I want to change this background. What can I do? I started to realize what I'm talented. I started to realize that I can do something. I can change my background, my talent. I started to working hard. I started to want to achieve much. Something was belong to the national team. So for us to share, our stories, as much as they look at us, they think we are heroes. We don't have problems. We're coming from these soft backgrounds. But the confident, we didn't lose it. We didn't take our situation then I started to realize the situation in Kulabu is sharp. It was disadvantage, but it's not mine, Joe. I'm still young. I can still change things. Opportunity, they were young and before like me. But do I want to be like them? No, I don't want to be like them. Can I change the situation? So I think for us sharing those situations in the Nabantona school, I think sometimes it does touch one or two or three. Thinking which again the drugs, thinking which probably we are pair up in situation about understand. But when they look at us on TV, sharing those deeper conversation with them, not saying I feel anything, now they start to say, okay, people push who was escape the situation. Then we start to tell them, but at the same time, as much as I realized which I was talented, at the same time I miss out to school, and that was the biggest mistake that I did. But God, that time I don't think which I didn't have support, even when I wanted to. I was playing for both national teams and thinking my background, I'm getting paid both, I can go back home, maybe my mom was disabled, the situation was too much. Then, but with them today, with the opportunities that they have, Joy, we need to really push them to say, we don't want you to see your guys doing the same mistakes that we do, because, you know, more than talent, it's easily other people to take it away from you. But no for life.
And I make reference to Ingles Valley School, right? Because it was my high school.
Yeah.
And when you started to play with the learners, there was like, yo, Portia still has it. Man, I still feel good. Hey, he can still play, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember I wasn't much following the women football, but the first time I was watching you, and I was like, I started to follow Banyana games always. And most there is the FCON that's currently happening, and it is Egypt that will play Senegal. Which team do you think will win that one, and which team has been your favorite in the FCON tournament?
I think I always say I favor good teams. You know, I think Egypt, Senegal being in the final, they gave the best performance. If you check all their games, they show, you know, both teams they want to win the final. And having players that are playing overseas, coming back home, you know, giving other players playing locally the spirit, you know, saying we know, you know, we have bigger experience. We come home and then we add the value. You know, the way he leads the team, it tells you the way they lead the team, it tells you, those are the players that they have the experience. They're playing back home and they're playing in Europe. They want to come back home and make sure they're taking also those trophies in Africa and make that mark to say, so for me, those teams, they deserve to be in the final, and I favor both because they have both my stars that are like that. But other than that, it's about football. It's about a good game that you see, the display that the guys are playing, the fair play that is there. You know, so football is about the love of the game. It brings people together. So for me, seeing these two teams being in the final, I wish the best to the both teams. They deserve. For effect to the both coaches. You know, they once being players, they were good players, they deserve a chance. The final job, as a legend.
Let's take it a bit back, as Wanda was speaking about, you know, like that you went to the school. So I just want to find out, as Portia Modise, not bashing that we know on the field, but Portia Modise as a child who grew up in Soweto, how was your childhood?
I think, you know, I wouldn't say even a perfect childhood, but I would say it was okay. For effect to in the today, I made good decisions that I'm making in my life, despite which my situation had a disadvantage, my family and my background. My parents, they were not working. We had a disadvantage, you know.
Yeah.
So, but me being the child of PLYCT, being tomboy, playing with guys, I think it made me to survive more. But what I've learned is strategy. You know, it made me the best person that I am. Because I always say, you know, village. So I was privileged, you know, so I was raised by a village, and I was privileged also to see the boys that I grew up in front of. Yeah, for effect, they were coming from good families where, as a woman playing with them, they didn't say no, as a for them, welcoming me and giving me the opportunity as a woman, because I was not going to be the person that I am today. Because the time that I was supposed to play and the time that they gave me to play, I think it made me the best player that I am. Because if they were looking at the agenda, probably I was going to play this time with them. But now they gave me so much time for me to improve, and also having inputs, you know, them believing in me, which I'm good in the game. For effect, when they go to play, they want me to be part of the team. Mamela, I was supposed to achieve what I've achieved.
So speaking about the boys, you as a child who, as a girl who grew up playing football with boys, would you say that had a huge impact on how you turn out to be, especially with the great responsibilities and all the achievement that you had?
Mamela, I don't think I was going to be this good if I really didn't mix up with boys when I was growing up. That is why I will always salute, you know, the boys that I grew up with.
Absolutely.
The mindset that they had in that age, you know, not really seeing a gender in me, seeing an athlete, seeing a soccer player, you know, not really labeling me. I think it gave me an opportunity, to become the best player that I am, because I was quickly to improve, because their strength and my strength is not the same. The time I always play with them, I'm starting to gain their strength. I'm starting to be better than them. So, because I was gifted, and they started. And one thing I like about boys is when they see to good in something, I'm like by so I appreciated them. They saw a talent in me, and they realized if we can keep this girl nothing, one day will make it. And they respected me. No one wanted to do fun stuff just because I was for born and my brothers and my mates people gonna go out so I was good with that, and I still salute them because I still believe that there are a lot of kids out there. I was in my township that they grow up like me. They want to see themselves playing with the guys, but the challenge. I just want to advise them because they need to open the doors. They just have to give those ladies an opportunity. Now to play with them, because the more we play with guys, we're becoming better.
I mean, you played with the likes of Renele Letsulunya.
I used to share the field when I was growing up. I remember I used to play in the certificate, so
and I knew. So it's the thing, there's your real age, and then there's the age of
football age. To tell the honest truth, I think yes there is, but in my case was because I was playing with boys, and they were not sure when they will say lawyer in Domazana, they will allow me to be in the field. So I needed to fake I'm a boy. Then I needed to take someone, my younger brother's birth certificate. Was P. You understand? Because men about Portia, they don't know the rules. And then you're not. You understand? So my team, they didn't want to put me in my pant. That is why they will say Portia, but to tell you the honest truth, I do believe some they do use football age, because you see catch ups with them later.
Absolutely.
I mean,
when you see guys that you grow up with, they say, we have a born about but to the same sports that now you used to participate now, it makes you feel better more. But now you start to think, now again it's possible.
Yeah.
If this guy really get promotion to play in the PSL, I need to rule the women's space, because I was good playing with them. So I knew my chances are coming. When I see them playing that, now just to support my talent where I am. So when I saw them making it, I think I knew.
I mean, we know the stories that you have shared before in terms of the treatment in Banyana.
Your experiences overall.
You were not getting paid as equally as Amajida would get paid. I mean, when we read those stories, and sometimes you tend to believe, but that's not true.
I mean, it's not I always say it's like a job. It's like a job that people spend in the vicinity. There's all strange or then get part of the 6 months. It's so unfortunate to see Banzavani's ability. Our job is entertain. Entertain people. We show, we make people believe. If you have the same thing that I have, it simply says now one day you can see yourself where I am. It's possible. You can do it. Sometimes I believe today they require people about the intelligence. But at some point, I want to know talented out there that they believe with their talent, they were able to perform if people they could invest in them, they will be good in that. But when they see us talking, like I said, when they see us talking about this situation, typically we went through it when I dropped out in school because I wanted to concentrate in football, thinking what football will pay, then I can solve my situation. I needed to make decision. Then when the decision, because I'm telling you, as much as when I think it's fun and because I've learned of my mistakes, and I'm sharing it now because when you want to follow my footsteps, but when you can do it better than me, I want you to be better than me. So yeah.
I wanted to ask, sorry for you come in, I wanted to ask you the time you were playing football, right? For I know that your mom is disabled. Who was taking care of her at that time?
My mommy is not like you. I'm get disabled in the My mom is disabled. I mean, mama is able now.
Oh, I thought it was a team.
Like we are two. Okay, I'm so many those overstrain. I would to work 24 hours the whole day. But Mamela, I always say, I'll make jokes. No, mama is important. Mama is no more. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are disabled, so we need to categorize them. I mean, I don't know. It's just the situation. Yeah. Sometimes in front of me, always now, but see, I think for Mama to be strong the way she was, you know, growing up in a situation where you needed to sell alcohol to make sure to be okay, and then we see sometimes the struggle because it's a single parent. I mean, for me, because you know there are a lot of parents that they really fake, you know, that they are so normal, but they can go for jobs anytime. But my mother, you know, he was always trying to make up a plan. Which, okay, I want to know because the other party, you know, from the strategy, we will see at the end of the day. So I think me growing up seeing that, I think it made me so humble. I always want to try to learn other people and make sure it's not even about me. You know, it's about where we're coming from. Because sometimes people they miss the point. They think when we're out there we're doing it for us. We're not doing it for us. Yes, but it's not like all of us will make it. Now we know we understand the efforts and we really wanted to work hard and win something and get something to say. I want to go back home, Joe, and put the effort, the same effort that I was for my nephews. Because at the end of the day, the generation are cool. You know, the legacy exercise was back over English, or put back over English, end of the day, I was a savings, but you still need to help each other as a family. So I believe that getting paid is very important. And it's something that they think women they don't deserve, or women when they start to talk about them getting paid, the equality, it's a wrong thing. It's not a wrong thing. It's a GBV, it's a shiny GBV. But people they busy complaining with, yes, stop abusing women. Maybe you need to look back when you were now abusing anyone. You know?
I mean, Portia, there were women, right, when you were still playing, who were in higher ranks in SAFA. Now, recently in 2021, Amanda Dlamini was appointed as then commercial and marketing manager at SAFA. Those people who played with you, are they not advocating for women right now in those positions? Do you talk with Amanda?
Yes, I talk to Amanda. I always it's one of the players that always look up to. Which one day come in the game and really do something better, change the game. No man will make a coach because it's not like all of us who coaches we stop playing. But I do believe Amanda, if we be given an opportunity in the first place, you know, to make decisions as a woman, and they believe which women could make good decisions under men, you know, I do believe that yes, they could make a change. But it's suppressing when you've been given an opportunity and a position where there's other people controlling you, when you don't have wings to fly the way when you always imagine it. If I can get this position, when there's other things I can try to change. It's difficult, you know. So I know deep down, Uchi, it's not like they don't want to advocate. But let's check how many freedom they have to really advocate. You know, they really hired them, really go over, they believe they could bring change. Or they hire them just to make up a number of women like so the good when you hire people, I want to hire 5 women who I believe these women they're powerful, you know, they could bring change and they could make good decisions. I believe in them. You know, yes, that is why they deserve to be here. You know, and really match these men. We need to bring a gender equality in this house. You know, if you bring them with that mindset, I do believe, which Mamela, a lot of things can happen. And Mamela, people get married for a reason. People ban abafazi for a reason. You know, women in Bogoto. You know, abantu abakwazi ukuphatha ikhaya, abantu abakwazi ukuphatha izinto labo bantu labo. So everywhere la kunomfazi khona Joe. Izinto ziyapopha. You know, but I always feel which men they have this ego, which when if they could be lead by a woman, actually they're losing something. Even a woman could be good than abafana, mamela, intombazane uzohlala ipunishiwe just because intombazane. Because now we need to feed the ego yabafana. You understand? Because they don't have to lose the power. There's nothing wrong to empower women. So I do believe Amanda, if Baba pay opportunity like that to spread their wings, they'll make a difference. But if they were given an opportunity just to add a number there, I mean,
Portia, you've been quite outspoken about your experiences that you had while you were still playing. You know, those experiences, did they, based on experience, did it only involve, was it only based on finances, or there was some treatment that also that you felt that you had to speak about?
I think I would say everything was
and in
such as
that, I also wanted to add there to say, how were you sure, guys, in terms of my payment? Very no give and drop, I society but so when no none in your car.
To tell you the truth, I doesn't make which they're doing that. I do believe which they need to respect every player that is there. Every player October it is the national team and sing that national anthem and being called in the national team is a soldier. We all sacrifice ourselves in different way individually. And for us to be selected to be part of that team that will be presenting the country, I do believe that everyone deserves equal. So to Portia when the Mateza 7 to Portia 7 goals. Without my teammates, Portia Modise 7 goals. You know, without my goalkeeper, Portia probably with Portia Modise winning as a buyer. So I do believe that teamwork, especially in this
yeah.
No, I know, you can continue, sorry.
We're talking about payments.
So I'm a women's football, taking to the club level, they don't get paid. So when you break through going to the national team, you think that is going to be the breakthrough. Because you need to be respected, you are a soldier of your country, you sing in the national anthem. You are a special kid, because it's not like everyone could play for a national team. You are a special kid, you are talented. And you see Bafana, the way Bafana they're being treated, they are kings, the way the players are being respected, the way they give them things, staff, wearing gear, soccer boots, they are proper. Then you come to Banyana team and you always have to take the left wings. You know, that is sad. Sometimes they tell you, we don't have this, it was a later. But in my belief is when you say it's a national team, you have two national teams. We have women national team, we have men national team. And they are both senior national teams because we have other teams that are following us. I'm under 20, I'm under 23. So it simply says you have two senior teams that you need to treat equally. So when we see Bafana getting all this, privileges, because we all coming from now, but when they tell stories, and what makes you think Mateza I worked out of my football money. I bought myself a house, bought myself a car. You know, I adopted kids as a gay woman. I adopted kid. I got married with my wife. You know, I fixed home. You know, why did you be from me? Why has deserved his own things?
I wanted to ask when you still on that point to say, had you guys been paid the same? How do you know if you were paid the same as a father? How do you think your life would have turned out?
I mean, what do you mean? No.
We're not gonna get this to tell you.
No. No, Mozo, it's all you know, I always say whatever that we achieve, it doesn't take the humanity in us.
Great.
It's only stupid people who believe which they are different than other people. There were people that supporting our careers. There were people saw us before other people see us on TV. You know, when we started to recognize ourselves, which I can play football, there were fathers and mothers in the township. They were saying, "Hey, we are lazy ball." Before others saw us on TV, you know, it started somewhere. So that is why you are stupid when you think you are different than other people because we're on TV. Sometimes they'll take you into depression because you don't even have money to maintain that life like there's a TV. So I lost the question.
How life would have told me.
Oh my God, I was gonna build probably I was gonna have a village. Yeah. Probably I was gonna have a village. Where I can really stay with people that I love so much. I can stay with my cousins. All of them, but see the clothes. You know, where we could have dinner nights, all of us together as a family. Because when you play football, you get not to have those moments because you were always away. So for me, I got one day I will have a payback. You know, if I can make money, this can't be something I'm spending in my childhood.
You are wanted, Portia.
Yeah, that's what so in this way, I repair. Buy my mom a house. I'm going to get into the school way. You know, probably I'll make life come on easy. Into the wheelchair, into Banyana, so maybe into the
Speaking of
I was paid with like other guys. I'm sure I was gonna invest to some of the kids in my township, making sure I build other Portia Modise because you know when you pay attention, there are kids who are same township of that they're underprivileged, but they just need assistance, they need help. If you know about life very easy, they could come back now one day and plan something like us because when you help one, you're helping lots. So I believe I was gonna make sure they improve out of my football money. I will invest, I will have businesses, I will hire people, you know, I will
create employment.
Yes, especially legends, you know, I will make sure some legends are recognized, you know. I feel good without those people, the platform that we have today, we will not have. And I feel good about God. You know, they lay a foundation for us.
But in your experience, Portia, there have been some great moments. I mean, 2000.
Yeah.
Because of you made your debut for Banyana. How was that moment, you know, having played for the national team, senior national team?
I think I knew it would play for the national team. It was not for me, it was not a wow thing. I think the wow thing started when I played for under 19. Because while you knew when one day you play for Banyana, but you
don't we need the umbrella?
I think we needed to start somewhere. And for me, starting somewhere, it was the under 19 Vasita. When I started to play Vasita, I was like, wow, it was a wow moment.
Yeah.
I was still young and I felt, wow, I'm playing for this national team. Wow, when I was 14, I was starting to captain the team. I'm like, wow, I'm really gifted. Then I started to aim high now, like I want to be over here, and I know I can make it. Give me now just a few collabs. We watched them train, and I started to video other players. I'm like, hey, there's a space somewhere.
There was this goal you scored. I think, yeah, man, it's always nice to have a team, dog.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the umbrella. Yeah, man, this rain was to disturb us. But in continuing, I was saying there was this goal you scored in London. I think you were playing up against Sweden and you scored with a center. What a goal, man. I think that's one of the best goals you've ever scored.
Yeah, actually it's
not. For me it is.
For you it is.
You know, I always say when people they talk about my best moments, they always think my best moments in Gonela Savannah. You know, let me tell you, 1 or 2, yeah, it's a lot of those. I think I had a lot of best moments with different generations, the national team. You know, and I feel I'm privileged because I do believe I've seen Aksama player maning that they will experience what I've experienced. You know, playing with different generations, you know, in the national team, you know, playing 15 years in my career in football. You know, I've seen a normal band that will see other players, you know, making it, knowing what you were part of them, you know, you were advising them. Today they're making it, and you wish one or two of them will break your record, they will raise your record, because at the end of the day it's about the growth in women's football. It's not about holding a title. I don't want to hold a title for that long. I want to see women's football growing. The more people erase my entitlement, I'm starting to see which we're growing. You know, women's football is getting better. You know, other players are starting to think professionally now, because it's gonna be a problem. You know, when you play overseas, you mature. You learn a lot. You start to act professional. You start to see what is in professionalism, how much you need to invest in yourself individually. When as a player, before the team invest in you, how serious you take your talent, your career, serious your decision making. You know, the friends that you bring around your career. You know, so those decisions, when you start to know how to make them alone, now you start to know your span. I always say, I'm a player today, they don't learn. This thing is not a career, it's a job. No matter how you can be good now, it's gonna end. Tina laba school mothers are good a few years back. It's not a plan, it will end.
It will get
one day I'll be sitting here being a legend. Ask me today, if many communication and meeting no boom I already was a but the age also is catching up. You increase your you can still play, but relax, rest. You know, it's about time. When now you need to motivate and be a mentor to others, share the gifts that we have, share the experiences, make them better, you know. But it's so unfortunate with the teenage legends, we don't have that platform, Shane, to share this wisdom, knowledge.
But this is the platform.
She's using this platform.
Yes, I'm saying this because there could be a better platform. You know, we can use this legend with their experiences, create a good program. The young kids that are coming now after us, good footballers, that could be better than what other players are playing today, with the experience and the professionalism that the coaches and the legends they will bring in the development space. Because I always say, if you're not going to teach kids what is professionalism in the early age, you're going to have a problem. If you need to remember, we're coming from backgrounds where we're going to but people, they expect us how to just calculate man.
Speaking of experiences, sorry to jump in, I just want to understand, as you've always been outspoken about your experiences, so you, before you got into or early stages when you got into Banyana, was there anyone before you who played the game before you, warning you about or telling you about the experiences that they had when it comes to women's football?
Man, I was so fortunate, Joe. When I started to play Banyana, I think I played with Stars. I played with Stars. And luckily my head was on the right track. I was not big-headed. I never thought I'm better than other players. Instead, I was overwhelmed with the situation that I saw, because I never thought there would be women who would play football like me. You know, I thought I was weird. But when I got there, meeting about Veronica Pea, meeting about Joanne Solomon, meeting about Makosi the Two, about Portia Modise, you know, about Tembi Moel as a goalkeeper, I'm like, what? Is this me? You know, this is me. But one thing I think I've helped myself being in that group. They were my seniors. I had so much respect from them, you know, and I've learned a lot. Every journey, every second I spend with them in the field, I always thinking to know why they're doing this, why, you know, why you're putting extra effort, why, because we coming back to training session later, this one will tell me the reasons why. Now I start to adapt. You know, when you see strikers doing good things, you ask, Veronica, I saw you doing this, why are you doing it? Then I take those advice, because as much as I realized good, they were good, but I'm like, this women, one day they'll leave, you know, this field without them being known, and without women's football growing then, because we're still fighting for the growth of women's football. It's still gonna take long, and these people, they'll retire without people knowing about them because women's football is not popular. You understand? Then I'm like, I need to steal all their skills, Joe. I need to steal their brain, because I'm still young. I'll remain with this, then I'll shine for them. Then I'll leave a legacy for them, because it was gonna be a punishment for me if tomorrow, Joe, I am a legend today with no achievement coming from that group. I'm disappointed. You know, I remember me asking which is number 12. I came Banyana, Patricia Kharazi was wearing a number 12, was a senior too. And I was like, and I'm telling inspired me, you know, and I'm like, number 12. You know, then you come to this place, already there are people who are owning these jerseys. They created these jerseys. You know, then you're like, ish, I'm like, I needed to you know, sing Bambi School Peck Sake for days, and campaign for the jersey. Then every time I tell them, pollution soccer boots, you know, you tell her which is and you're disappointed. You know, and I really love number 12. I want to make him mark of number 12. You know, when and you know, and Producer Kharat, when he handed over the jersey, I had a task which it's not mine. I'm presenting someone, someone that was never known, someone that was never given an opportunity to be seen how good she was in Dlamini, and she's handing over this jersey. So which means I have a job to take it talented like in a lamp and to make it shine, Joe, this jersey, and I did it, and I'm proud, Uchi. You know, when I'm sitting home and I'll be like, you know, I really made it proud, and you know, being in the same class, Nabojo and Solomon, the best striker I ever see, like best left winger I never see, the best right winger I never see, Kabuzit. Best midfielders about finish to 16 left. You know, we lost our one of our legend, Marcus, which was one of the best players in the midfield. So for me, I feel good having them, growing under them as a player. I mean, it made me the best player that I have. It made me so humble because they taught me a lot. They taught me how to fight. You know, our experiences in football. You know, because without them, seeing them fighting, probably I wasn't going to know what our issues. And make no mistake, I was confused. I'm like, hey, I'm not complaining that too much. But let me tell you, when I started not to understand, not knowing, because when I was there to play football, absolutely. When you start seeing people complaining, you don't want that you want to play football. So, but when you start to understand, getting the issues, you start to say, like, wow. You know, now you understand. You know, and it should frustrate you because if we can fight all of us, it's understand and see when day one, it's a big step as women, because they say Abantum is not famous for big step. So, but if we were not really good with that, squads will recognize which if we can be together and support each other, we have a power. We are special people, so we're gonna be far. So I'm grateful to the class and Dlamini. It made the best Portia Modise that I was in my talent. Even the coaches, even you fight with the coaches, but they are our parents, you know. In that situation, sometimes we get so depressed, into sometimes as they were you know, they left their families coming to be with you in the camps, you know, and trying to work with you. And now it's not like sometimes we want to get really one, but everyone wants one. But there was nothing personal. You know, there was nothing personal in it, and I was trying to do my job, and sometimes we will fight very vocally, we will fight with a lot of things. It was not being disrespectful, it was trying to have a voice, it was trying to know what your worth is, you know, as a player. the sacrifices that you give. You wanted people to respect that. You know, you wanted people to see an athlete, not a woman that is supposed to be utilized, and at the end of the day, not being rewarded. You know, you're fighting for those things. You're not really fighting with abantu bakuzona. People, they misunderstand things because
you were speaking about the legends right now, and you're with the legends. I think a few days or few weeks opening that sport with about Dr. Kumal. How was it like? Because I know that I think Willard Kazande's construction also played a part in rebuilding that place because it was rooted in July.
Yes.
How was it there?
Mamela, it was very nice. It's always nice for us as legends, you know, to support each other. Because, you know, after football life, it's hard. You know, it's not like everyone who's born here is true. You know, it's those who knew how to invest and channel their money well and had a good background and had good people around them to show them while they were still playing with you. While you are playing, Joe, you need to invest. What can you do? And they had a great years to listen, you know. But for me to see you like doing this, I'm saying maybe you teach the young generation today that are playing. You know, sometimes talking is cheaper, you know. But when we start to implement things, the other players now they start to see, you know, Nati, we need to start doing something while we're still playing. Ugcwalelwa amantombazane amaningi eletha awusenamali ukhala ngathi azami ngoba kanti wena awumelanga ukhala kumele uze uzokhuluma ngama-experiences zakho, your wrong decisions, then you ask for help. I always saying it, you know, when you look at women's football and the men's football, it's a totally different thing. You know, there are stories in Mamela about finding and even pity, feeling pity for them, because I do believe they had an opportunity, you know, to live a good life and have and had a great endorsement and chances. Tina and Joe, we sweat like them, we got injured like them, you know, we sacrificed ourselves like them, but we never got those opportunities. But with the little that we had, we're trying so much, you know, to keep the image, you know, to live like a legend. I think the guy was a great footballer.
He was
one of the best.
Yeah, and I also learned a lot in America. You know, I'll watch, I'll love the things that he does, and I'll say, which is fun.
Later on, earlier on, rather, you mentioned of, you know, when you mentioned of ladies famous of always stepping exactly. So I want to know, during your time at Banyana, would you say, as you were vocal about, you know, this, you know, differences, this not being equal as to men's football, would you say, were you guys on the same page, or no? There was it was like that team, like it's like, no, I'd rather keep quiet in order to keep my job, or we were all on the same page being vocal about this. Yeah,
let me tell you something, you know, I always say most of the time, but then as much as you'll be vocal, you want them to be in the same page with you, and when we are alone, we're in the same page, they're talking in the same language. But you need to understand, some of them, they don't have stronger personalities. Some of them, they think Baba ends a favor to be in the national. They don't even recognize what they're working hard to be the national team. Baba choosing over, they deserve to be the national team. But when you're in that space, sometimes they will make you feel like back ends a favor. You know, they will make you feel good to you when you start to fight for your rights. You are going to succeed. You know, I'm going to succeed as a national team. So that is why I always say, when I knew what I with, I knew what I can do. You know, with my career, I knew what I did for the national team, and I feel good. I can't be quiet. You know, the more I achieve, the more I need to talk for the ones that who can not talk. And it's not a situation which really I needed a choir to sing. I didn't need a choir. If never to good for them. But I realize which even the technical team will really put others I see, you know, which I don't know when Portia a bad influence. Once I landed Portia to the national team. And some, we need to remember, some they will take that and keep quiet because you're starting to think, which it's my first time in the because that's the only time you get the legal incentives. Club level, there's no. So I mean, I didn't have a problem. So I never made a was a backstep. It's normal. Coach, coach, space. You know, so I just need I deserve the mamela ngiphibola manje ifisi ngebhola singazanga ngento zangaphandle mina ngimnandi ngebhola but mawufuna ukuletha into zangaphandle uzifaka groundini mamela that's when we're going to start having issues that's when we're going to start not liking them but kahle mara if when ugade into engizele la engizoyenza ngiyoselektheleyo hayi mamela bese ngikusebenza ama problems bese azwenzani rewarded the way I deserve. Exactly. You respect me the way I deserve as an agent. You pay me the way I deserve as an agent. Then you see which but right now I'm saying, can we get paid equally? Because that's what we want to have a living. We want to buy houses, Joe. At least
I think it's painful to play for the national team. People see you on TV, but
and when you see you on TV, you already say like, "Oh, what
abuser, GPV on another level." It's difficult to be on Portia a township. We want to stay a township. We want to stay with our people because we really understand that without these people, then we're not going to be the people that we are.
True.
We like their support in the development space, in the development age. I've grown up them telling me, giving me a confidence that I can make it. But let me tell you, when you start to make it, you become a threat. When you start making the jealousy kicks in. When you start making the hate start kicks in. You know, people start to think, you know, Portia. You know, that's when we run away. I don't think in community, the way, you know, we struggle in our community, the way people they have disadvantages in our family, people are ready for people like us to stay with them in the community. But when you start to live in the community, they say, yeah, but she community. But when you can't even be you in your community, because when I'm on social media, marumunto normal menga bangathi askisi yo askisi but mina mengiwa ngiyacama sizophela now you start to realize that you kanti baningi kanje abantu bene problem namkanti ngiyenzeni problem it creates your achievements. People they are lazy, they are sitting not doing anything, not knocking on doors. Now what thinking as I was fucking so that is why it's a problem to be people like us living in the township, and it's a problem when you start to run our downfalls. You need to go back home. You don't even know how you're gonna face your community because this community has a different expertise about you. You can't even go and share. That is why most of celebrities pass away.
True.
Because we don't have where we can knock and say, I'm a human being. As much as I inspire a lot of people.
As much as you're Portia, you're also a human being.
As much as I'm a hero to other kids. Now I'm a human being. Now I need to be taken care of. You know, now I need someone to listen to my problems. Because at the end of the day, I have a place that it's so normal. Famous. Normal that we have fights because normal. Sometimes it's not. It doesn't look good. I get to be depressed, you know, and I can't even share because when I'm sharing on status for social media, I'm how to face the community, you know. So I'm just saying, man, the community needs to be easy to people with this. You know. After the COVID, if you check after COVID, a lot of celebrities lost their lives. A lot of celebrities they went home. You know, I'm just saying welcome them. It's like when and the Sebenza holy man in a TV and so what's wrong? We in the wrong because then they are fine. And if I'm that is in Spanish. Then men I'm missing as I say put it into them says and the women stand on a call. Why wrong experience? So I'm just saying with people they need to be easy. We're trying to be heroes, we're trying to inspire, we're trying to make other people understand which if you have the talent that I have, work harder now you can achieve the same way, it can still be your job. You know, it's not useless. Like other people think athletes are useless, choose a career, we're not stupid.
The Premier Soccer League, in partnership with Multi Choice, they came up with this new tournament called the DSTV Compact Cup. How do you feel about the tournament, and why can't we have maybe such tournaments for the ladies?
I will say again, Joe. You need to be passionate. You need to have love. You know, you need to believe that women, they deserve a second chance. You need to believe that these women, they are human beings. Before you look at me, before you put before you label me, why am I calling umuntu? Ubona umuntu uqala. Mawubona umuntu azi mengabe bathi nginema company mangiqasha umuntu, ngibona umuntu uqala ukuthi lo muntu lo
before gender.
Dali njengoba bafuna lo msebenzi ufuna ukuyosupport ifamily yakho kunabantwana kumele baye esikolweni udeserve ukubhadalwa naye kumele life yakhe ibe easy. So when you sitting here, you don't think ukuthi mina I deserve the same thing that you planned for me as a woman. Mina, I need to be squeezed somewhere. It's a problem. Because it's what I'm saying, but nothing ever should lie to think like that. Because into it right, you can still do it. Because no matter check, there's we just have to share.
Exactly.
You understand? You just have to know how to prioritize. You just have to know, these guys, they've been privileged. Now we need to grow women's football. Can we share the sponsors? These ones, they've been taking sponsors. And it's what I want to ask also the sponsors. But really, when they're coming to our field, in our sports, when they're coming to endorse, our sports, really they're doing a GPV now, but they're saying, because it's what we've been told most of the time. But the sponsors, they didn't give money for women, they only gave it for men. So I'm asking you, but even sponsors, they're doing GPV when they're giving money to the football association. They saying, hey, come on, we human beings. We human beings. We coming from these backgrounds. We want to feel as a president, no drive. You are a president because us. Without athletes, you are not going to be a president, dude. You don't even taking care of those athletes. What is that? Because me, if I was a president of athlete, I'll make sure that my athletes are okay. Because I want to see my athlete and living a good life. It's good. They deserve it. You understand? Knowing what I did justice to those kids. Nami, I deserve. I'm an athlete against million. I'm an athlete. How does that make you feel, Joe? Come on.
But Portia, since you've left, man, this is very quite sad.
Yeah, and it makes me think of a lot of problems that we have, and obviously with the kind of minister that we have also, who's very, very passive and not very, very active. So such problems, how do you address them?
Yeah, but Portia, since you have retired from football, would you say there have been any changes that you see would say probably we are heading into just right direction? We're not there, but we might just heading to the right one.
A person like me, so unfortunately, we have to adjust with a lot of things. That's actually like 15 years. So the experiences that I had in women's football, I know where it starts. I know where it's supposed to be. I know which by now the respect as women soccer players right now. So I'm saying, Joe, from 1993, talking the same language, but can we get paid? Can we be treated equal? Can we see? Can you guys see us as women? Stupid things, the things that you can just exploit. Understand? That's we want to make a living. In order for us, is it wrong? This is seven that looks now. This is seven that I mean, I was it. Okay, what is it wrong? Talent and seven I'm feeling the doesn't control. I have a talent that could play me and do my best in my career and buy myself a house, buy myself my family a house. You understand? It's painful.
It is.
It's painful, but hopefully
Things will change.
Yeah.
Just hope for the best.
it's not gonna change now. Women's football, the only thing that I'm seeing that is changing, as Sakura Maki Kipo it's a super trick suit. But I'm la trick suit.
True.
To pay me in order for me to use my athlete.
Yeah.
I need to know how to take care of myself, my body. I need to eat good things. I can't eat good things because I need to eat greens. I'm a greens. I was no divide good. I'm coming from the family lab. I'm was good taking it. I'm was no. So you're putting me under challenge here. So pay me so I could be the best athlete that I want to be. So I can take care of myself the way I want to. So Sasa, when people judge me, I know that you have paid me and you have the right to judge me. But I mean back down. But when I start to have problems, but when I start to trip and fuck depression, wrong, abuse it, GPV. You don't even appreciate us. But make color what you Ronaldo, make kitchen makala, that's not I'm born. That's in your mother. At least when I know what I'm so weird. I saw it is not far away from you. You know, at least I'm a place of planet Dube. One of one has given an plane. I was in a plane with India. I'm not going born. This is not I'm born. But I'm born. But to respect her, yeah. When Ronaldo scored 100 goals, the social medias of South African people were going crazy.
But you scored 102.
You know, Tina, when we score, get you, so we don't deserve nothing. You know, but all the companies are South Africa from your sponsor, but we have our athletes here
who are
doing so great. But I understand that the system was built with black people. Black people banga support, black people banga boni anything good to others, to each other. Because if we can start to see that, it will be powerful. You know, because we're too special as black people. If we can see how powerful we are, and know that if we can stand together, I can just go far. But the systemic design of which I was born and to see against each other, they say, oh, young can take me see achieve good than I get.
I mean, a few years ago you had mentioned that you completed 3 coaching licenses and waiting your C license, and you mentioned how passionate you are about development. How is that going, and are you with any development currently or planning to probably start your own development team?
To tell you the honest truth, you control I'm from a good. I know I'm good. I didn't believe it. I just want to degree. And then as a computer. You know, when people went to school and decided I'm gonna go play football, that was my schooling. In that field. So when I say I'm having 15 years in my career, it simply says I'm not diploma.
Even more.
So I'm just waiting for that university one day.
And as one is mentioning about development, you always wanted to have your foundation. How is that coming about?
So I was explaining with you, I have a foundation, creating my foundation. I wanted to create a hope. The players who are playing to probably I can get sponsors, probably I can have problems that these players, when they stop playing, I can really give them jobs in my foundation and put them to those problems. Because I know for a fact that after football, some of them also shy talk. They also want depression, because it's not like every company, every opportunities that are coming, they want to work with every legend that is stopping. And at the same time, I'm saying that is also what is confusing us, this way the legend. You know, someone play one season, we call this people legend. Someone who dala 2 seasons, but these are legends. So now we don't know how to really run this out. Mina junior Khanye is a legend. We are Delela when I'm you can't. Listen, you can't. You need to find you need to find a special way. Probably I'm a master. Because when you check my achievement, I'm a master. Oh, you understand? I'm not a legend because when I check the legend, I'm checking their stats. I'm like, but why mina ngifakwa la? Because labantu abayenzanga nix. Abachivanga labantu. Why mina ngifakwa nalabantu la? Yeah, why are legend mina? Mina ngifuna linye igama. Can I ask the minister to create another name for us? People who achieved
a lot,
overachieved.
Yeah.
We deserve green blazers. We deserve to be honored in a proper way with respect. Then after you give us names, mazositshela ngabantu abahambile bawophuza one season uyabuya akasadlalanga akasena contract sekayi-legend ebafethu niyasidelela.
There has to be a name. There has to be a name recreated.
Junior himself must create it.
Like, it's painful for sure. Yes, you think I'm saying this in a joke. I'm joke. It's painful because for me, to achieve the things that I've achieved, I want to come and tell them they don't know what I've sacrificed.
Yeah.
And it's not like every player. That is why I'm saying other players they dropped. Angithi to promise angithi sayesikolweni siyincwadi namaphepha sadrop out saze esikolweni sebhola khona badrop out thina saqhubeka sayakustela 12 saqhubeka nje so wena ufuna ukufanisana nabadrop out. That is why thina nathi singafuna ukufana nani emile naqeda isikolo sizikini ngoba siyayenza ukuthi asifika so wena ufuna ukufana la mina ngiqedile kunama master ufuna ukufanisa nabadrop out. Come on. Drop out to your mundo. Never simfuna ligama. You know, abadlalanga even 6 years, 5 years in career yakhe. What drop out? Then when uzongibiza
when you were 15 years.
Then later we fighting for the same privileges. Come on, dude.
No, but it makes sense. It really does. And I wanted to ask you, what are some of the valuable lessons you feel what you have learned since Portia was moving and you feel what you in Manje Kulayo they need to know about that?
Discipline. Aha. Dlamini baha. Khalinting ngasizaba ezabantu. Most of our kids by ashona. Mantombazana yabulawa. GBV is happening game. You know why? Because thatha imali abafana ungazi ukuthi uyisebenzele kanjani. Kusasa uyamdoja. Uyomhlanganisa nomunye. Kusasa sokuwumntana omunye umama kusesobhili. Umntana omunye ongeke. Bakwatiswa yilokho. Kusasa ukunika iy'moto zakhe afuna ukuyenza umuntu. Uthathe uzinike enye boyfriend. I like to say as respect and as empower one another. We fighting for gender equality starts with us. You know, we need to start to value ourselves. We need to start to respect ourselves. We need to start to believe which naturally I could be able to support a man. I can make a man. Why we always need to believe men can make us? What's wrong with you? And that's when I will get disabled. Sometimes men also they need to instill that in their people. And you have money, don't want to control, don't want to do GBV. Take umntana abantu musesikolweni, empower that person. Musesikolweni ungamcontrol. Uthi kusasa uzofuna umbulala. Sesiyicontrola wrong this thing. But I'm just saying ukuthi ubuntu sekuphelile ebantwini. We need to go back. You know, we need to go back. You know, ubuntu. When you see a black person, angadlanga 1 or 2, they need to singandluli C5. Oh, one mele abe nawo nembeza. But today sesiyasabi nawo nembeza. You know, abantwana bathude asakwazi ukubakhuza ngoba sokutshela ukuthi awusumama usubaba. Then they missing out. You know, ngikhulule today because I'm still scared of my mother next door. You know, ngikhulule today I'm still scared of my mother next door. Ngingaka today because the surrounding, the parenting engibenayo around me. Pamela, it brought Portia, it brought the person that I am today. But abantwana bamanje they scares me because SS afuna esikolweni bafuna ama shortcuts. Awuya kama shortcuts life yethu. Awuya kama shortcuts ukufa. Ma shortcuts ukufa bonke into mfana ntombazana ama shortcuts ukufa. Go to school. Invest in yourself.
You are a motivational speaker.
I was about to ask, when is the book coming out? When is the book coming out? Because there's so much wisdom.
Yeah.
The book is coming out very soon. We're still making
Yeah.
really hoping to my book will teach the kids.
It definitely will.
Mamela Joe, I do believe that people it's in a low esteem and you believe which we need to impress other people. I got how people will away. Monga Chacheka, we won, but you unabantu. We need those people, but they didn't more than one. People won. The decision is one is you'll get the support, you'll get the advice, but I didn't. Woman share signature. I think it's about the success signature. Didn't woman say signature in life. So I'm just saying, I want they need to stop living under pressure. I want to cover with back Peggy, and then life you find out what's money the back Peggy, should be there's something that you're doing good about 4 weekends, it's just a bachelor's about what's you're doing good. So it starts with you. I'm over. Biggest feeling I'm
and that's very important.
You know, when I do that first, when I'm also is a bonus.
Yeah.
We understand. But do I need it? I don't.
You need to tell yourself and believe it yourself. Yeah.
And in wrapping up, your top 3 all-time best players for males and females.
I think in Messi Akida for me. He was a good star. Delambashu was a Nigerian player, was a good soccer player. Marta was a good soccer player.
Marta the Brazilian.
I'm talking about Messi, I'm talking about Ronaldo, I'm talking about Cisse, I'm talking about this guy Salah.
Yeah.
You know, for me, they are the players that I think they're doing well. You say Uchembe Khatani, Jane.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fan.
Yeah. I'm also a fan of you.
I'm a fan. I was a fan long time ago. I knew she's special and she's proving it. And you know, more bigger, Ronaldo Begubes. It's how I see Khatana, I see Refugee. You know, Ronaldo is a hard worker.
Yeah.
That is why I always say you can't compare the two, because both of them, they are 2 things that in one player that you need.
Yeah.
You know, being talented
and then hard work. Yes.
So now Utembu,
yeah.
Messi, Urifila needed to learn to Tembi as the learner to be hard. Utabo Messi, Utembu, Utabo
yeah, it's always a debate. You can't break exactly.
If you're a good soccer player, you know you can't.
Yeah.
You know which one. We won. I mean, I knew one as a player. I know which I needed to make this 2 players to be the best.
No, man, thank you so much for coming and sharing all your stories. And I just want to give you this platform before you leave the team. What is the message that you want to tell Abantu? And it could be anything.
I just want to say, go Abantu. I know this past 2 years, it's been a rough year for all of us. We lost jobs. Our fathers, our mothers lost jobs. Our brothers also lost jobs, and it creates anger, to communities, to the country, to the world. But to tell you the honest truth, you're not alone. We just have to pray. All of us, and believe that we pass this. Other opportunities will rise.
Absolutely.
Autonomous school. I just want to say those who didn't make it. This year is not the end of the world. We understand why we didn't make it. You're not going to make it in our house. I can't be in a strategy if you're in our house. So for them, they had a lot of house and they didn't have money, they didn't have budget, to really work, do their school work at home because they didn't internet. So we understand, we're just saying to them, they need to work harder this year and make sure they improve on their results. I'm just saying, go to bed, that we're trying to make a living. When I was trying to band and goons, I'm an more. Rest. We can't live with the fear. Now we're living with the fear as women. I was suspecting myself getting 17 without thinking which kind of also band and goons, also raper. Guys, it's no more. I'm just saying, those who's busy promising opportunities, you need to stop talking. Because people you're not implementing. I understand people are having anger. When I'm plus my 50,000 and if 2,000, just give loan to the opportunity. Just people, they need to stop to be greedy. People, they need to start understand why people are acting up. Understand why people are acting up. We are understanding you're not creating anything for them which will change the situation. So I'm just saying, as much as Uganjal, but peace.
Yeah.
Peace perfect.
Just before we let you go, I just want to know, as you know, at the beginning of the year, what should we be looking forward to Portia this year in 2022?
To tell the truth, for the love of God, if I get sponsors, I'll be doing a lot of road shows, a lot of coaching clinics with the legends, moving around, making sure other legends, they still doing what they love, and also creating other opportunities for the ladies who are playing today. Also giving the coaches that are coaching in the club level and the development, creating the coaching licenses and a foundation. Because it's very important. We want to see the influence of coaching women and we don't want to see only famous faces because we believe they have those privileges. But we need to also take care of the coaches that they develop us. They still developing others. Says if we can make it in the national team, they just need to be recognized and be seen. So I just want to work. I just want to, finish this thing. In my space, I want to work with boys. I want to work with women because I do believe if we can break this chain in an early age, make a woman understand men in an age, make women men understand women, men understand both. I do believe that if we can play in the same place, we will be able to take care of their girlfriends and take care of our men in our private space, because we'll be getting to understand each other in the field of play. We're finishing this gender thing, we're combining the two.
Yeah.
I believe if we can do that in any age, these problems are open.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you,
We really
man.
appreciate your presence. We really appreciate you coming. We want just to say we love you.
Yeah, and we appreciate you putting us on the map because you have done so much greatness for the South African football, not just women's football, but South African football at large. Because when we say she has scored 102 goals, we're not just saying as in women's football. We're talking of the whole African continent. As I'm saying,
men and female.
Exactly, as I'm saying, you have made a mark and you have put the South African football, on a exactly.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
To my fans and to people who are parents, to me, coaches, all the coaches that coach me, Papa must rest So coaches, they need to stop to be personal. It's not one about personal. But you go to Suzuka. I see you now.
Yeah, and also shout out to Putfusi for letting us use the thing. And people should do really check out this place. It's a chill vibe here, and and people should come and support the restaurant Yasegas. That's how we wrap up, man. It was the 8th episode of the Sports Chat. We are back. Happy New Year, and plenty more episodes to come. Plenty more interviews to come. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and obviously share.
Yeah, we truly appreciate your support, guys. We truly appreciate it, and this year we are back, and we are back with more power. As you've just seen, we've been having a great conversation with the legend Portia Modise. Yeah.
Sure.
Hola.
Shoo!